Time for another indie horror game review. Yeah, I like horror games generally speaking, and indie games tend to be cheap. There you go. And Breeder Homegrown just so happens to be such a game. Although very critical minds might object to calling it a true game and might use the term walking simulator. And that assumption might not be completely untrue. Breeder Homegrown doesn't really have anything in the sense of challenging gameplay, puzzles, or even anything the player can do to have a personal impact on the narrative. Breeder just wants to tell a good story and puts you on a set track from point A to point B to experience it from beginning to end. Is it actually a good story? Well, it's a story that's been told before. It's your generic alien life form crashes in someone's backyard type of story, which has been commonly used in horror/sci-fi movies throughout the ages. The game does add some story elements that change this trope a bit, like telling the tale from the perspective of an old man looking back at his strange childhood was certainly a nice touch. Instead of a killer alien going on a rampage, you are treated to flashbacks of the slow descent into madness of an unfortunate family due to the presence of the creature in their backyard. I got a bit of a H.P. Lovecraft vibe during some parts of the game, and then it hit me. The story takes a lot of story elements from the Lovecraft short story The Color of Space, obviously with certain changes and a more modern setting. I know there is a rather recent movie rendition of that story with the world's greatest actor Nicolas Cage, but I haven't seen it yet, so I can only refer to the original short story. As mentioned before, parts of the story are told through flashbacks, which are often not chronologically, and some of the text also seemed worded in a weird fashion as if slightly incorrectly translated. This made the story confusing at times. It's a horror game, but don't expect any scares or to be actually scared. While some parts do give off a disturbing vibe, the main theme I got while playing was overall weirdness. Bit like in a psychedelic fever dream, you might say. Especially the moments that take place in the lair of the alien creature reflect this very well. The pixel art style and music choice also complement the slightly disturbing ambiance. Now, I don't mind story-driven games where gameplay takes a bit of a backseat, but I do expect to receive a pretty darn good story with involving characters. And I didn't get it with this game. Of course, I was interested how the story was going to play out, but it was fairly easy to deduce how the tale would end due to the straightforward story formula without any plot twists that might have given the story a bit of a spin. Telling parts of it in a confusing, out-of-sync way with some of the dialogue seemingly badly translated doesn't add an enjoyable layer of mystery. It's just kinda lame. I also didn't really give a damn about the characters, as they are extremely one-dimensional. Stuff like the bitchy stepmother, the pussy dad that's buried under a damn woman's shoe store, and the dead mom that was batshit crazy. Not very compelling. The fact the game is really short is the final nail in the coffin. You can basically finish it in 15 minutes if you wanted to. But the game is pretty cheap. You can literally buy more expensive coffee at Starbucks. And it's still a short but entertaining experience if you enjoy a weird Lovecraftian-ish pixel art combo with some weird vibes. So, support an indie game developer instead of buying overpriced shit at Starbucks. Unless the game really sucks. Just get some McDonald's then. I don't know how we got here, but give this game a try if you like weird crap. It's cheap, so why not?